Hello again, Luke Bug, the geek of steel, and today my special guest is James. Now, James, please could you introduce yourself and tell the people why I'm so excited you are here today to talk to me?
Hi, Luke. Well, thank you for having me on, first of all. Hopefully everyone's very excited to have me on because we were very fortunate to get the opportunity to work with Warner Brothers on doing something quite unique, and hopefully that is taking the world of food and drink kind of multi-sensorial experience and creating it within the DC world in partnership with Zack Snyder's Justice League and having the awesome opportunity to try and deliver it across a period, across the ocean to the whole of the US and the UK, and really try and tell the story of and pay homage to what Zack has created, but through a different medium, which is the wonderful world of food and drink.
What a combination. Two of my just absolute favorite things. You've got comics, movies, and food all coming together in this wonderful league, as it were. So yes, the Motherbox. When I first heard about this, very excited. And I think the world went crazy when it all sort of did get launched online. And yeah, so just please tell us a little bit about this wonderful box before we go through the menu, which I'm already hungry about.
Well, I think like everyone, if we reverse back slightly 12 months, and obviously the world slightly changed for us for everyone. In the restaurant game, particularly, we had the challenge of kind of pivoting, very much like most businesses have had to. And we had the idea of, we're working very closely to Warner Brothers, of saying we had an existing relationship with them, to work with them to kind of say, look, we think we can take the creative process we do here in our kind of physical world, in our laboratory downstairs, our kitchen, development kitchen, and we wanted the ability to say, look, we can deliver certain of these elements, to people's homes, so that when they are digesting that kind of digital content, you have something that kind of very cleverly, hopefully, you'll agree, very cleverly, kind of links in and marries those kind of physical and digital worlds. Everyone had pivoted to these kind of meal kits. We wanted to go that little bit further. We wanted to kind of create a boxed experience where, again, what we do and what the pillars of Wonderland is all about is kind of imagination, storytelling, multi-sensorial food and drink. So what we tried to do was very simply put it in a box, which naturally obviously had to be the Motherbox.
Of course.
Then fill it with just, look, it's an absolute dream for us as a team to kind of have the opportunity to play with what is, awesome storytelling, awesome characters, amazing kind of motifs and emotions that come out of this movie, and try and succinctly put it into kind of, a number of items that could be, enjoyed in the home, and kind of give you those moments of little bits of pops of wonderment and immerse you deeper into Zack and Warner Brothers world.
Yeah, I mean, it's all well and good going back to the cinema and having nachos and popcorn and sweets and candy, but to have some of the items that we are going to go through in a moment, it's like there are some cinemas around the world now that they do gourmet experiences. You can get a 3-course meal. With this, I think there's more than 3 courses though, which makes it even more exciting. So shall we start to go through the menu? Because I'm getting excited.
It's always, it's like a theme park ride. It's always the anticipation at the beginning, which is high, and then you go on that incredible journey. And I think, that's that each of those, hopefully, what the fun for us certainly is kind of food and drink kind of developers is to, that challenge of creating products where you peel back the layers, and you have to go deeper, and the detail of the design, the packaging, and as I said, the responsibility on us is to kind of stay, true, authentic to the kind of the original comics that the creators before, and give something that the fans truly, hopefully appreciate and kind of, and can relate to. So it's let's dive into that food.
Oh, fantastic. So yes, we have this ocean trench. This is the Aquaman dish, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Now I'm just going to go through some of it, but I would love to know where a lot of the ideas came from, but all the food just sounds incredible. It is displayed like a restaurant menu, but it's going to be in your own home. And I've understand there's going to be videos there as well for those that need a little bit of help in the kitchen.
There are, yes. I mean, I think again, going back to that point, the idea was that we create an evening's entertainment. So as much as it is, you have this amazing menu that you can kind of dive into. We wanted to kind of push you in certain elements to try different things. To there's look, my team will tell me I'm not the most gifted, shall we say, in the kitchen. So everything was tested on me, and I was able to do it. So it's absolutely possible. But we wanted to kind of say, look, there are elements that come that you can straight away kind of get into the packaging, open, and eat, and hopefully delicious. But there are also elements that we wanted to push you guys or everyone who's involved in this box to say, have a go. It's not that challenging. We have videos that kind of, when you get your box, that I think we've told you that there is this whole kind of digital play to it. The box comes alive. The icons of the heroes pop out, and within those there are various different experiences that you can get into. The main one, obviously, is the how-to. So it kind of step by step teaches you, a little bit hopefully about the dish, but also teaches you the kind of step by step on how to put it together and make sure it tastes like it should do. Yeah. So the ocean trench was, actually, for me, it's that kind of, it's that key moment, or certainly as we believe, obviously, when Bruce first goes to this Iceland and in search of Arthur Curry, and kind of says, he's in this kind of herring factory in Iceland, and it's that whole setting that we wanted to try and capture within the detail of the packaging. So this wonderful animator that we've used to kind of sketch this outline of Arthur, and this hidden, there is a bit of gamification on the evening, which you'll find out about. Okay. And there are hidden Easter eggs within the packaging, because I think, let's be honest, that was one of the things that Zack is brilliant at.
Yes.
Just hiding those little bits of detail that eventually all link together. So we've tried to have our fun and do that. And the ocean trench dish is the trench dressing is good fun. I think we want to go deeper into that world. There's certain things that, as someone who's building a physical world for DC Comics right now, there are obviously techniques and stuff we can do here because it's transporting it from a kitchen to a table. There are certain logistical nightmares that come into play when you are not you're shipping it across certainly huge countries like the US. But it was that was a great challenge in trying to bring alive dishes which could taste great, tell a story, but also survive the journey.
Yeah, so Icelandic cod and chips. So yeah, that's going to be an interesting, like popcorn in a way, or French fries, but slightly more gourmet. That's what I like about that.
Yes, a lot of hopefully what you'll see in the future, we started developing for new IPs. We try and take an old a traditional dish, turn it on its head. Look at the techniques we can use to tell that story, and often make it a little bit more gourmet. Use the better ingredients than would normally be used in that situation, and make it a little bit posh.
I like that. But yeah, the next one, now, this is what really caught my eye. I mean, everything looks exciting and fun and references the comics. But for me, being a burger fan, it's the belly burger, which just blew the internet up.
Yeah. I mean, I think, like you, massive, I'm a huge fan in like, strip me out of what, the company that we're involved in, and massive fan of the IP, first and foremost. So I think we've had it in our heads for a long time that we were like, why does the big belly burger not exist? So this, the reality is that hopefully you'll see it in different versions of our universe. So because it's a burger and everyone loves a burger, it's incredibly subjective, the burger. We've done a lot of research. I think I bored Warner Brothers once with the history of the hamburger, and something we looked at greatly is how it was a lot of popularized very much in the St. Louis food World Fair back in the turn of the century, and obviously Hamburg has a big claim on that it created the hamburger. And we use that kind of history to kind of create our hamburger. And what's the perfect hamburger? We looked at the kind of the 3-finger rule, that you should be able to absolutely, it's got to be big enough, but you've got to be able to bring it down, and things have got to spill out the side, and have that nostalgic kind of twist that kind of goes in and links back to some of your memories of when you were a child. And it's just great fun to put together. I really, really hope that, the Big Belly Burger will have a life outside of this, and we'll keep growing it. We're going to use it in, I think, Park Row here in London, and who knows where the Big Belly Burger go. It deserves a life, doesn't it?
Oh, I think it does, because I think it's been referenced quite a few times in TV shows and in the comics, and I think someone even mentioned once, sort of, no matter where you go, the burger tastes the same. So if we could get sort of, just a whole branch of DC restaurants and comic shops around the world, that would be just perfect, because it's an iconic burger in the comic world. So I'm really looking to doing that one justice, excuse the pun, but that's going to be a fun one to sort of create. But I think we'll have a little bit of a chat about Park Road towards the end of the show, because that's something else that's very, very exciting. But let's talk about a Superman dish, because I'm a bit of a Superman fan, as you can see. This Resurrection, please tell me about that. That sounds fantastic.
So this is actually this is my favourite, because for a number of reasons. Because I hope, going back to what I said earlier, we want to kind of challenge you to do something in your home. Not many people, me included, had kind of had the opportunity to, or the confidence to kind of make a souffle at home. From a storytelling perspective, it was my favourite, because we know the rebirth story, the resurrection story of Superman within this thing. So we wanted to take the packaging right back to square one, kind of tell that story of the cornfield, within there, the detail of the Kent farm. This is something that would have existed. You would have gone into your local convenience store in Smallville and bought, Kent farm products. In there, then, when you remove the mixture and you make it, that how do you then kind of create that rebirth, that rising? And obviously a souffle should have a wonderful rise. You then have this beautiful ramekin with a branded kind of silver S to represent his suit, and then it's coated in this black material, so that when ingredients, so that when it rises in the oven, it comes out it just looks stunning in a kind of this black corn souffle. It tastes delicious. And I will say again, I was able to do it. So it is. I'm not going to say it is absolutely idiot proof. If I can do it, and it's whole. It tastes delicious. It's challenging, but it hopefully, and I hope everyone agrees, it kind of does. It really tells the story of what we want to get across here, which is this is that elegant rise of this incredible kind of superhero, and the beautiful nature of I think how Zack is going to show it. And we've all now seen some of the images. Yeah, looks amazing.
So I like the fact that your favorite is the Superman dish. I'm looking forward to doing that one. Just I want to focus, watch that video as well, and just make it as perfect as I can.
I want everyone to kind of once they've had their go, is that whole element of that shared community. We want to see the pictures of what people have done, and the with the silver popcorn on the top, and dress it how you want. We've tried to spend, what we wanted to do is provide enough of the really cool packaging, so that you can frame it however you want. You can take pictures and as I said, share it with us. And we're really, that we're as excited as anyone is kind of be involved in this. And we want to see what everyone does at home.
Yeah, I've got a day prepared where I can just spend all day in the kitchen. I've ordered my own chef's hat. I'm prepared for this, James. I'm going to be filming it, photographing it, tasting it. I cannot wait to just get lost in an adventure in cooking. It's going to be fun.
Now, Park Row.
That's it. If I can. I've heard some things about Park Row. I knew sadly it didn't open up, but that's going to be coming soon. Very excited. That will end the show on this next dish, the Wonder Woman dish, the ancient Themysciran fire, which has just got a wonderful title.
Yeah, and I think I go back to Wonderland. My the whole thing about is we use we say we try and use the full multisensorial spectrum. Here in the restaurant, we've been able to do that very very much. How do you do it in an experience that gets sent to someone home is a real challenge. So what we've done here is, I played with for years the kind of binaural experience of using it to immerse people into an environment. You strip away the kind of the sight, take down make the room black, put on the earphones, and just immerse yourself into it. It was that whole, how do you make someone use sound? How do you make smell? So there's an element within this in this dish which gives off a scent, and then you couple that with the ancient Thermoscirium dish that tastes all smoky. So it's that whole sense of fire. It's that whole fire for us is, and I mean for human beings, is this whole kind of, it is such a powerful scent. Smell is the most powerful. It jumps, it goes faster than pain to your limbic system. And it has this, back in the old days, obviously had a very much kind of dangerous warning signal. So we wanted that, but also it's kind of grown into the scent of fire, much more of a comfortable, Christmassy, Thanksgiving, bonfire night feel to it. So it has a much more kind of comfortable, exciting, emotion now. And I think what we've tried to do is combine smell, touch, taste, sound to allow you to, as much as possible, step into that kind of that scene of the comic, scene of the movie, and see it from a different perspective. And I think if you can correctly combine all those different elements, then it has a much more powerful kind of experience when you're engaging in it. It's equally, it's meant to be super fun.
It sounds it. I mean, yeah, it's not even just by checking out the website Wonderland at Home. It's the menu draws you in, and then you get an idea of what these are going to look like. But now you're slowly releasing images of what the food will look like as well. And it's all, as you said, it's all part of a fun story, and it's all leading up to when these boxes finally get into people's hands and kitchens. And another dish that caused quite a stir on the internet is the chocos for Martian Manhunter. Now, this made me so happy. It's something that hasn't really, again, it's been referenced in the comics and some of the TV shows, but I love the fact that this wonderful superhero has just got an obsession with cookies. It's fantastic.
Absolutely, and we did too. And I think it's that we were given, we, like most of us, we had this inclination that in Zack's version, Martian Manhunter was going to appear. He was going to play a bit more of a role. So we wanted that cameo to very much be reflected within the meal. And again, when this is going back a few years, we were doing our kind of first research into the world of food within this incredible 80-year span of PC, and we all love Oreo. I mean, again, from a nostalgic point of view, it brought back lots of memories. So then we wanted to do our twist. That this is, so we made them savoury. The flavour is unique, and yes, somewhere where we're having a bit more fun. And we always say we want elements within the experience to be, safe as houses, great tasting, wonderful, great ingredients, cooked well, bang. But we also want to play. And we want those moments of wonderment where we play with you, and you use the flavor combination to tantalize and tell the story. And I think this was, the packaging was great fun putting together for this one. And yeah, it's really, I've done the tasting on this probably about 50 times over the last 3 months, and it is, it's, as I said, it's a classic.
I want hopefully people to, I'm going to be doing it myself, but recording reaction videos to some of the food. So this one, forgive me if I'm wrong, but it's jalapeno, salsa, and cheese, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's great.
Yeah, and it was going back to an earlier comment that you made, which was, in the theatre, cinemas, we'd all have been, we wish that it would be great, and we can't wait to get back into those cinemas to watch these masterpieces, because that's, in some respects, that's what they deserve. And those were the flavors that, for us, we were talking about are reflective of going to the movie. So we wanted to get that in there, and make it a kind of real pattern or red thread that ran through it. And it tastes. Yeah, look, let's see the feedback video, shall we?
Oh, yeah, I'm waiting for that one. It's going to be, because it's just the fact that you've included the cookies, but you've added your own twist to it, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So those ones, when the ingredients were released and the images, I was like, wow, these are going to be visual, and then the taste sensation going along with that would be, can't wait. And then, oh yes, we've got the bat. This is I do like the sound of this one. I'm a dark chocolate fan, so this one sounds fantastic.
Well, I think in look, you know, whenever you are doing these, you've got to have a crowd pleaser in a stunning piece of chocolate. Obviously, you've got to have something that reflects Mr. Wayne, which is that kind of indulgent, rich, smooth kind of character that he is. To be honest with you, I love the when I first saw the designs of the Wayne case, you know, the black case that opens up that holds the chocolate. I was excited about the chocolate, but I was also super excited about the actual packaging, the way it looked and the way it was holding it. Yeah, I mean, it's a look. It's not quite the same wonderment as the chocos, but it is. They taste delicious.
And that's it. It's a nice, again, nice pudding. It's a snack to enjoy after the film. But then you've got drinks as well. We've got some refreshing drinks to go along with all this.
Well, and I think this. So this is another element that's like, take my professional life out of this. Just make me like where I've always loved the whole bringing, or certainly the ambition of the company is to bring brands from the fantasy world and make them a reality. So the fact that we were able to work with Warner Brothers, bring alive Jitters, bring alive Cool Brow. Cool Brow again is something that not everyone will know. I didn't know it when I first started researching 2 years ago. Got really deep into that, looked at the flavor profile and the stuff. And so for us to go away and then have the opportunity to create our own dark and kind of light beers within the DC universe, again, it's just, it's that kind of reaching into the screen and pulling out your favorite food and drink. And Jitters and I think Cool Brow do that in different ways.
Yeah, I mean, they're great products. I mean, I think most of the sort of the companies that make these wonderful, at the moment, fictitious items are owned by Mr. Lex Luthor, which I like the fact that he's got all these fingers and all these different pies, and now we get to enjoy his wares. But the Cool Brow, I'm looking forward to a nice pale ale, but obviously there's non-alcoholic versions as well. But it's everything there. I mean, I think if you could include somehow some Justice League serviettes, you've got the whole meal experience covered.
Yes, that is it. We going on those two products, I think look, you've got 80 years. I mean, you've got the most incredible history here. To kind of and you have to doff your cap and pay homage to the people that played such a role in developing this world over the last 80 years, because they've thought of everything.
They really.
I mean, for us, it's really relatively straightforward to come into this world and pick up these bits because it's all been developed, it's all been created, it's wonderfully thought through, it's wonderfully playful as well when you start going into the backstories and having the opportunity to kind of get, as I said, peel back those layers. Our job is to kind of make it taste as good as it can. That's the responsibility, and we're, again, I'll say it again, like, wouldn't it be amazing if you walked into retail in a year's time and there was a Jitters coffee sitting on the side? It's just, these brands are so they're as strong as some of the brands that exist in reality. So let's it's been brilliantly fun to kind of bring it alive for everyone.
It is, and it is those things where it just brings everyone together. As you said, there's lots of Easter eggs that some people will get and some people won't get. But the more they dive into the history of these comics, they're going to be like, oh, that's from this comic, or that's from that story. And what I loved is that Jerry Ordway, he found out about the Motherbox recently and put a tweet out saying, I can't believe it, the Big Belly Burger it's coming alive. This is like his dream come to life. And he mentions obviously some of the other creators such as John Byrne, and it's nods to the past but also embracing the future at the same time. And it's all I like how it's all blended together, like the perfect recipe, so to speak.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's the key, isn't it? It's acknowledging the incredible work that's gone before in creating the history on here, and that's the responsibility for anyone who kind of comes into this world is to make sure you get that right, the storytelling right, and you do. Warner Brothers are amazing like that. They guide you beautifully through the process. They give you enough room to kind of play with some cool ideas, but equally they know their brands so so wonderfully well that it's we want to keep doing this because, as I said, I've got the best job in the world. I think I get to play with one of my my favorite IP with my favorite characters in a world of food and drink. It's amazing.
And you're getting to sample all the food before
Ah,
everybody else as well. It's a
exactly.
win-win. It's a
Yeah,
win-win.
yeah.
So you mentioned that you worked obviously quite closely with Warner Brothers. Have you worked with Zack at all over the months?
We've had like no, we haven't had any direct contact. We know, Warner Brothers have been amazing at kind of keeping the communication and showing him
Mm.
what we've been doing, because I think it was really important that he bought into what we were doing, and it obviously connected to his universe rather than what had come before. So they were there's a little surprise in the experience that he has provided.
Oh,
He we know that he was very excited when he saw the Motherbox, and I think he's obviously getting quite a number of boxes. So we hope he very much enjoys it. But again, WB and they kept the lines of communication really open with us, and kind of funneled as much information to him and his team to make sure that we were, as I said, being true to his vision.
I'm sure he's got absolute faith in the product because he shared it to his fans, his dedicated fans around the world. So I'm guessing you're all going to be quite busy over the next
Yeah,
few
well,
months.
that was it. I almost retired after that because I was like, that's pretty much as exciting as it gets for me, right?
It's got to be when see that really did that just happen?
Yeah. I think I screenshot it a few times and sent it to my parents, and so that was amazing, and that's for us. That's we are, and I don't want to harp on about the whole response, but it is we're building this. This is very much we want it to be a fan driven exercise, because one thing that we've really tried to do, and I go back, is that the detail in the packaging, the detail in the storytelling, and we know that some people who are not quite so passionate about the world will hopefully still enjoy it, eat the product. But we really wanted to create nods where, if you're a super fan, you go, I get it, I got that, I saw it before anyone else saw it, and that's the fun part of it.
And that's that bit of that clout they call it, those blagging rights. Say, I saw that, I knew that was coming. Oh,
Yeah,
very exciting. But I mean,
yeah.
this is going to be an event. This film has been a long time coming, and for you to be able to be a part of this, part of the tapestry of the Zack Snyder legacy in a way, you're going down in history as well as this movie will.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, we're a very small part, but I did say to my team, funnily enough, when he very kindly tweeted about us, I said, genuinely remember this. This is that it's a huge kind of pat on the back for everyone. Not me, my team who have worked incredibly hard on doing. It's very easy to say we're going to create a box full of multi-sensorial food items. Behind the scenes, my guys have been working tirelessly on making sure that you can deliver it to every single place, and fulfill these orders. And we didn't know what was going to happen. We didn't know how big it was going to be. It's obviously been a phenomenal success, because the movie is going to be a phenomenal success. And I think, but we didn't, as entering into this exercise, it was all of us were like, well, is it going to be this successful? Is it going to be? But it's been beautifully marketed. I think Zack's done a great job, as you said, tantalizing everyone,
Yes,
giving the information at the right time, and that's allowed us to kind of come in the slipstream. And it's been phenomenally successful.
Yeah, I've been loving the tweets you've been putting out. You've got some great social media talent working on the behind the scenes, because their tweets have been just as exciting as the menu. So it's going to be exciting times. Now, where can people obviously order this? And I know you've got a busy few weeks ahead, but where can people find this wonderful item online?
So if you go to our website, wonderlandathome.com, then you basically click through there. You can, whether in the US or the UK, we are, it's as simple as that. Or if you come across us on our social media channels, there are click-throughs that take you to the portal. It's simple as that. You can decide if you want one box, two box. We're working on the future, how we create more kind of communal boxes. But in this occasion, it's we're incredibly thankful to everyone who's already got their boxes, which is brilliant. We want to make it as big as we can.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the future with whatever you do. Now, before we hit record on this episode, you were in a different situation that we can't really talk about, but it was very exciting for me because your other project was something where we originally started talking about, and that was Park Row, which I'm very. If you could give us a little bit of information about that, I would be very
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're obviously, it's very linked to what we've just been talking about. It's our physical site that we announced, goodness me, back in February of 2020. We all know what happened in the last 12 months, but the great news is we now have a roadmap to opening. So we are working through that right now. Building is remobilizing. I think I was sat in the Iceberg Lounge, or what will be the Iceberg Lounge.
Yes. I can claim technically that I've virtually been there already now. So I'm very happy about that, because when I saw the plans for Park Row and everything that you had planned for this, just a theme park for me, it just sounded incredible. But for those that don't know about Park Row, I'll attach some links below. But in your own words, what is this wonderful place going to be?
Well, and that, you've kind of said it. We wanted to create an adult playground. When I first came up with it, I always say I was massive kid, right? Still refusing to grow up. And I wanted to build. In the restaurant world, the food world, we're always looking for amazing stories to tell. Historically, it's provenance, sustainability. Da da da. Wait a minute. Why can't we use one of the biggest kind of franchises in the world with the most incredible, complex, multi-layered characters and story arcs, and build an environment that, when you cross that threshold, you literally immerse yourself in that world, where we don't break the fourth wall. And then we have built or interpreted areas of Gotham in this 24,000 square foot amazing kind of grade 2 listed basement in Soho, just off Regent Street. It has this incredible 3-story staircase that descends down into this world, which, if you are building the underbelly of, if the penguin really existed, and he would, which he does in our world, is building the Iceberg Lounge, he would do it here. And it's just, we're building the Iceberg Lounge. We've got, Pennyworths. We have this incredible Halo concept called the Monarch Theatre, which will be 10-course tasting menu, projection mapped. The 4 walls. We can control, again, the multi-sensorial environment. We're doing some amazing things. So we go through these, we get an opportunity to go really deep into the characters of the world, building towards this fun moment where we're going to try and do something that's never been done in a restaurant before. And it's kind of saying, look, this is super fun. We've got, and just because it's super fun, it doesn't mean that it can't be world-class food and drink.
Exactly.
And that's the really exciting part of everything we're doing. The team that has come on board is, they're all huge fans of the IP, and I think it's the ideas are mental. I mean, literally, and again, it's creating little pockets of rides like you would get in a theme park, but using food and drink and the IP of DC to kind of make it not a normal restaurant experience.
I saw some prototype art, so sort of a lot of concept art, and it just looked incredible. You're talking about obviously adding all these experiences in there. In my head, I'm already seeing lots of dry ice and cold and ice sculptures, and it's giving me goosebumps thinking about it. And when you open up on that first night, I'm going to be there. You're stuck with me now, I'm afraid, but if we could get some sort of, if we could start some online campaign already, where we can get somehow Danny DeVito to come to London. You know where I'm going with this, don't you? Just here with a big bucket of fish heads, just walking down those stairs. It would be fantastic, because that was one of the many heartbreaking events that I wasn't able to sort of witness build over last year and this year. But as I said, as we turned on the camera for this wonderful interview at the beginning, you were in there with some wonderful surroundings, and as you said, there was some beautiful art deco sculpting going on, and you're a man that's clearly very dedicated. You set your eye to a goal and you achieve it, and I know that this museum, this theatre that we're going to be able to go into, is actually going to be a restaurant as well. It's going to be an experience to remember for DC fans and just fans of fine dining and experiences.
Absolutely. Again, the whole design is I classified it recently internally as the Simpsons joke, which they were brilliant at telling the same joke. The dad laughs and the son laughs who's watching it. And I wanted to do the same thing within the restaurant environment, which is, I'm a fan. I'm a massive fan. I don't want everyone to get the joke. I want I want to come in and feel special, and I want to go, I know.
Yes,
So it was very much kind of, how do we hide the design elements of the DC world in plain sight?
Yeah.
And that's been, it's been, don't get me wrong, it's been a challenge, but it's also been, super fun.
Yeah, it's like the hidden Mickeys of Disney World and Disneyland where you can go around. So I'm going to be going around with a clipboard, I think, and a magnifying glass, and with in the other hand my DC encyclopedia, just to double check and fact check, just in case.
We did say we'd love to do, almost do that, where you guys take trailer, you talk about the trailers, the upcoming movies. It's for us. This is kind of our movie. This is our production. We've got a lot of work to do still, but it is, some of the crazy ideas that we're trying to pull off in a food and drink environment for hopefully a number of people a day. It's now getting back to being really exciting now. Now the world is hopefully, fingers crossed, moving in the right direction.
I think I know I've been speaking a lot about it. Myself and a lot of other UK bloggers just cannot wait to. We normally go to London when we're grateful enough to be invited to events. So we know now that when we can go back again to screenings and Comic-Cons, we've got somewhere to meet up to make it special. So we cannot wait for this place to open.
Then I suggest you go to Old Gotham, which is our kind of speakeasy, villain-esque inspired kind of wonderful kind of cocktail bar at the back, which it's completely chaotic, but you'll see a lot of Easter eggs of the villains from the Rogues Gallery and the Narrows existing in that space.
You're making my head blow up with ideas. In my mind now, I'm seeing a very darkly lit bar with suspicious looking characters, maybe some actors in costume, and I'm hearing over things in the background. This tingles again. They're coming back. This is great stuff, James.
Awesome. That's exactly it. Have you been reading the plan?
Honestly, no. My mind is just, when I get an idea in it, much like the Justice League over the years, my mind has been contemplating theories, things like Martian Manhunter, things like everything that's been going on. And now when I heard about the Motherbox from you guys, I was like, okay, this meal could come out of it. I've got an overactive imagination, always have done. And when I can get lost in a film or an experience at home or in a restaurant like you're creating, that's what makes memories for me. That's what makes me happy. Escapism in the cinema, it's one thing that I miss dreadfully. You're in a place, you've got no phone, you've got no interactions, you can switch off and get lost in somebody else's story, not something that you're expecting to see or wanting to see. And with the Justice League movie and the Motherbox and Park Row, it's experiences that I want to enjoy.
Fantastic. And you couldn't have said it any better. I 100% agree with all of that. And we're looking forward to getting everyone back to those kind of being able to, it's what makes us unique, our imagination, our creativity, that's what separates us on this planet. And we need that kind of ability to go and immerse ourselves in these incredible stories. And as you said, a bit of escapism is a great thing.
James, where can people find you online? Where can people find this company and find out more?
Well, we're on Instagram and Twitter. So there is the Wonderland Restaurants handle on Instagram. Park Row, I would love Park Row London, at Park Row London on Instagram. Love everyone to follow that, because we're going to start now, with the announcement that we're remobilizing and going to be open. We're going to start now teasing some information. And then at WLD at Home on Instagram and Twitter as well, and Facebook. So, and if you're really bored, then I'm also on Instagram, but I don't do I'm not as exciting as Zack Snyder. So,
who is, though? Don't give yourself that handle. That's too much pressure, James. Too much pressure. James, thank you. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm really impressed with what you're doing and how you've handled this new way that the world has to go back to work and keeping people in a job for one, and inspiring and entertaining people at home as well. So thank you for everything. I think we're going to have some chats in the future because I know
Yeah,
you've got a lot more stories inside you. But thank you so much for your time, everyone.
thank you for your time.
Wonderful. All the links are below. Everyone go and check him out and follow him on Instagram. He's a very charming man. Okay. There we go. James, thank you so much.
You're a star. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Cheers.